Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another scene of Living World of Darkness, Mage from the Ashes. We start the scene in the Happy Dragon Chantry. Ava is actually sitting in her room. Door is ajar, and there's still the rucksack that's basically standing next to her bed, and the huge gown is that she wore not too long ago is laying over like a bureau seat, a desk, I don't know how you call that, whatever, a chair. And she's staring at it as she is kind of toying around with this gorgeous wooden wand that she's holding. She's kind of tossing it from one hand to the other and kind of making figures in the air. And finally, she gets up, wand in hand, and walks over to Nausicaa's door and gives a small knock. Like, "Mm, Nausicaa, it's me."
You hear movement from within the room. Nausicaa pokes her head around the door. She looks tired. Ava.
Hey.
Hey. How are you today?
A bit overwhelmed still.
Yes.
Yourself?
Likely in a similar situation.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't sleep last night. I think it was leftover adrenaline, maybe.
Probably, yeah. I just had the weirdest dreams, but oh, which reminds me, I need to roll for nightmares. No, Ava didn't have them. Never mind. Blah blah.
So, how are you?
Well, like I just said, still a little overwhelmed by everything. I feel, I don't know. I was terrified at that ceremony.
I will admit it's a level of whirling anticipation also.
Yeah. It's I wonder what I did to that girl. I hope she's still alive.
I hope so also. It seems unnecessarily barbaric.
Yeah, right. I wonder why she tried to change the code though.
I do not know. Although I do appreciate our tradition, taking things seriously. I do not believe they would have executed her. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I agree with you, but you seem kind of serious about that.
That is not something we can affect.
True.
There are things that we need to discuss, though. I will come out into the common room. Give me 2 moments.
Yeah, sure. You want something to drink? I'll go grab it while you finish up in here.
No, thank you.
Okay. She'll proceed to the kitchen and grab something to drink for herself and grabs an apple as well. And we'll wait in the common room.
Nausicaa is back out. And, yeah. Last night I used the Oracle.
Oh, okay.
I use predicted metadata and the information we have about Violet to predict to what I believe is a 97.8 accuracy as to where she will next do one of her paintings.
Okay. But I thought they were meant for us, that you said that. Does that not mean that, well, now that she's got our attention, that, she doesn't really need to do them anymore?
The next place she is going to do them is going to be on the Iron Man building.
Which is... where?
I think it's in Queens. In Queens. They're the people that I've been researching and looking into and hoping to undermine.
Oh, wait, she's gonna do a
On a
painting there.
technocratic facility.
Oh, shit. That does not sound...
I do not trust her. We should not work with her.
I mean... I agree that she's a little odd.
She trapped us in those paintings. She put us through serious psychological trauma. And because she turned up here, smiling, we have all decided that she is somehow a friend of ours.
Have we? I had the feeling most people didn't really trust her. Though I fail kind of to see why not. I mean... She did bring that new guy, Theo.
So?
So she helped one of us.
No, she helped an outsider. She brought him to us.
Who is now an insider. I mean, not to come...
Potentially.
I don't mean anything offensive by this, but you and I both know that you've had difficulties trusting people who are new. I'm not saying it's a bad thing per se, but so far your feelings of distrust have not really been right.
Mostly because lips kind of purse a bit. Maybe I have been... Maybe you think I'm being overly paranoid and protective. However, it is through my efforts that maybe the technocracy have not found us on several occasions. It is me that has done the warding on LWoD and our collective phone network. I believe in a vetting process. I do not believe against illogical and unnecessary ostracism. And I
Well,
think we should vet Theo. However, he is not specifically the target of my antipathy at this point. I do not trust this Violet woman at all. We should not work with her in any way, no matter what she offers us. We should do it ourselves.
I agree we should be cautious. Like I said, I'm not saying you're completely wrong, but I feel we should give her a chance as well.
Why?
Because we've also given Tasha and Boris a chance when we didn't know what they were.
They saved our lives.
She saved someone's life as well. Just because it wasn't ours, is that... You can't just sweep that aside. Besides, she's clearly not a technocrat.
Irrelevant. There are other things in this world that are not allies to us, aside from technocrats. In the books I have read about evil mages who wish to bring about the destruction of the world.
Okay.
She may not be one of them. She may simply be. She may not be anything particularly harmful, but she may not have our best interests at heart. She more or less admitted she wishes to use it as cannon fodder against them. She wishes just to fight a hit mark. She is clearly extraordinarily powerful. and yet
So
she
are
wishes
you.
us. Thank you for the compliment, but I do not believe that my abilities have reached that level yet.
Hmm.
For that matter, many of us may be, but it is irrelevant. There is no reason for us to risk our lives fighting one of those robots. She called it hit mark.
I think we perhaps if we next see her, we can have some sort of magical scan ready.
For
Like,
what?
well, I don't know, but if she's, I mean, it's clear that she's a mage, I guess, but perhaps we could scan her aura, or perhaps I could try and see her avatar or something. Find a way to check out what she is, like on a deeper level. If she agrees with that, of course, because I don't believe we're allowed to just do things against the mage as per our
Even
recent
if we
talk.
do that, what would it show us?
I don't know. We could research it, right? I'm just saying that we should give her some form of benefit of the doubt. Being critical, sure. Being cautious, sure. But if she is what she claims to be, she could be a great asset. And if she's not, then, well, then not. But we shouldn't just throw out something potentially useful or beneficial without studying. I mean, the guy from the bookstore, he was and is still kind of shady, but we still got his help in a sense.
We made an even deal with him on his terms, on our terms even, and we negotiated it. In the business we work in, Ava, many big companies seek out smaller companies. They say they wish to work in a partnership. However, the only real reason that a large firm seeks money for or a partnership with a small firm is they wish to exploit them. They do not wish an equal partnership because they do not have to. They are large enough that the small firm, if they get into bed with them, have no choice but to go along with it. They do not have the resources to match it. She is much more powerful than we are. She has shown this. If we would make a partnership with her, we would be being used by her. We would be her assets, not the other way around.
Is that so bad?
Yes,
Why?
because we are the masters of our own destiny. We are
I
members
mean,
of the Order of Hermes. We are to bring light to the darkness.
sure, but that doesn't mean that we can't walk the same path as her for a while. I mean, if we have a common interest, if she can help getting those technocrats out, I don't mind being her, well, flunky for a while.
I do. I object to it. With every fiber of my being, as to being somebody else's flunky. Somebody who's not given me any reason to trust them, that I have no experience with, that in fact my only experience with was them treating me like some kind of toy. I do not trust her, and I will make sure that it comes to a vote on working with her, and I will vote against it, and I will try to my best to convince the others too.
Okay. But maybe, like I said, we can find a middle ground in this by researching, finding out if she is what you think she is or if she's not.
Sure. Maybe I will look into it. She said she was a member of the Order of Ecstatics.
Yeah, well, perhaps we can find some ecstatics.
Perhaps we can. This is a good idea, Ava.
Like I said, it's not bad to be cautious or anything, but to just simply throw away an idea because we don't know it. If we always do that, we would have never progressed the way we have.
There's something else.
Hmm?
In my firm, we work from what is called a quantitative analysis program. It is a highly advanced computer system that essentially predicts the market for us. It trades on a millisecond level. Many firms use them. The reason we are so successful is I have used my enhanced abilities and knowledge to make it better than any mundane one. However, this is not how all shops work. Many of them go on hunches and tips and interpersonal relationships and experience and understanding of the market.
Mm-hmm.
I have a hunch and a gut feeling I don't trust her. We should not work with her.
Well, I think with that, your feelings and mine are not the same. Sure, she put us through a test, but others have done the same.
Done the
Li-
same?
During my seeking, I almost died. I had to sit in fire. I had to fight someone with a knife. I almost died there. I got wounded. Now, sure, that may have all been a dream, but that doesn't mean that at that point I was not terrified. I did not want to die. I was
Natural.
afraid. When I did my um, test to see if I could become an hermetic, I, I've promised I wouldn't tell, but I can tell you one thing. At some point, I was with someone who got burned alive like a witch. I experienced that. It's if that painting was a test of hers, sure, it was not subtle. It was very frightening, but she's not the only one who lets us experience fear or even death. Maybe you've just been lucky not to encounter it before. Death is, after all, someone's ultimate fear. For a lot of people, actually. It's fear of the unknown.
It is. Fear of oblivion. The final entropy of the universe. Or a personal universe, at least.
Hmm.
Just because there are other people out there that would do things like that to us does not mean we should trust her.
No, but also that we shouldn't trust her immediately just for what she put us through. Because in that case, there are many people here in this world that we cannot trust.
I agree. We should not trust many people. I'm glad you feel the same way.
That's not what I meant. And you know that. You're just twisting my words. That's not.
Apologies. I was.
And if I would have agreed with you, I would have never been part of House Shea.
The Hemetics did not trick us, or offer us seemingly too good to be true deals. We should ward the temple ourselves.
Sure, but have you ever warded something like not of this earth?
It does not fit within my purview. However, the skills of this group are diversified.
I mean, we can try and do it ourselves, sure, but that does not mean that we can't use her experience. If she can explain to us a good ward there, then we could adapt it the way we want to use it.
And what if she puts her own failsafes in it? Her own back holes?
If she's not doing it herself, she can't put in back doors or
She's
fail
more
safe
powerful than us.
or
We are not aware of what she can and cannot do.
sure, but her just explaining how something works might give us the opportunity to build it ourselves. She doesn't have to do it. She doesn't even have to be part of it. We can do it ourselves. I'm just saying,
We have the resources of the library, and if it comes to it, we can go to a pater and mater. Other members of the order. I'm sure they can help us. I do not trust this person.
no, I realize that. And all I'm saying is let's just be cautious, but not immediately write her off.
Let's go again, just sort of. Well, you can put that to the group. I will put that we should have nothing to do with her.
Fine. You know they'll listen to you. That's why you can safely say this. There's no point in me bringing it up, because they will all follow you anyway.
Follow me? In what way?
Yes. Some of them are acting like your pet dogs.
Who?
Julie, have you not noticed?
I don't think Julie likes me very much.
She hugs you every chance she gets.
I assume she did this to annoy me.
No. Ask her something. Ask her to buy you something. You know, make her run errands. You'll see.
You think she would run errands for me?
Yes.
Huh.
I think she would absolutely do that.
That could be useful.
That's wrong. Point is, taking that behavior aside, I think most people here in the Chantry, they, I think they think you're like, I mean, I agree with them on this. I think that if we have a leader, then it's you.
We do not have a leader. We don't
I
need one.
said if we had. But sometimes a leader doesn't choose himself or herself in this case. Sometimes others choose for him or her. I think whether you like it or not, others have chosen you to be our leader.
I disagree.
I don't.
Well, then they have to unchoose me.
That's easier said than done.
I will do something to show them I am unfit to be our leader. I do not wish for this responsibility.
I would not do that if I were you, but if that's how you feel about it. I wouldn't worry too much about it, really. I'm just saying that when it comes to your opinion versus mine, not only I think they will agree to your opinion because A, it's you who is saying it. B, some of them already feel like that. C, humans are ultimately group animals. Like they are terrified of walking a path alone. They're terrified of a group turning against them, so they prefer to stay with the group. And D, my opinion, as we have just agreed on, is opposite of yours. And they all think that I'm silly.
I did not think we think the opposite. You advised caution.
Yeah, but still, I advised to investigate, be cautious, but ultimately not distrust her immediately. Where you are, wanting to distrust her immediately and want nothing to do with her.
These are not opposites.
They're opposite ends of the same spectrum.
No, they are not. You also are advising caution. You have a more moderate approach if you wish to factor presented in this way. The opposite would be immediately trusting her and doing whatever deal she said.
Fair enough. We'll see. You know what? How about we will not mention this conversation to them? See it as a test.
Okay?
I think.
How about we raise it further? We will bring up what to do with her, and we will not influence them either way. They will have their say first.
You can't prove my point.
I do not wish to prove
Or
your point.
unprove. You can't unprove it either. Maybe try it on something else than something like this. Call it an experiment.
Maybe. Milska looks like she wants to change the subject. There's something else we need to talk about.
Sure.
Nathaniel,
Why?
are you sure it is wise?
I don't know. We're just dating.
I don't understand why.
Sorry?
I don't understand why.
Why what? We like each other. Is that not enough?
It
It makes
seems
me
like a big
smile.
risk.
I trust him. What's there to risk? It's just him and me. As long as you don't bring that up to the group.
Milska looks like she wants to have a reason to kind of like be angry, but she really doesn't.
Peony.
Sure.
Mm, I have 5 dice. Oh wait, where am I will dice roll? God damn it. That's Mage. Nope.
Okay. Nausicaa is a blank slate.
Mm-hmm. I would just takes a few moments to look at Nausicaa. Okay. Why do you think it's a bad idea then? You say it could be dangerous. How? Why?
I think your focus should be with the group.
My focus is with the group.
And what if our groups came into conflict?
Then that we will keep that out of our relation. And we will deal with that if that would ever be the case, which I highly doubt. I mean, isn't that the same problem you would have with Misha at that point?
No. Misha is in play.
I mean, I know
Also,
it's
you
not
were the
the
one who
same,
introduced me
but...
to her.
I mean, that was before she applied to that job on her own. I had nothing to do with that.
But you did introduce me to her before that.
As I remember, you just barged into her shop.
Nausicaa just is clearly like lying. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Oh, come now.
Either way, will you spend a lot of time with him?
I mean, we both have busy schedules.
Are you
But
going to leave the Chantry?
not immediately, no.
But you plan to.
No. Look, I'm not planning anything yet. We're dating. Like dinner and a movie. Are you jealous?
Nausicaa goes bright red. No, of course not. Why would I be jealous?
Oh, fuck it. Can I peony again? I know I failed my previous one, so if you're like, no,
Yeah,
that's
no,
fine.
no, go for it. Wow.
Wow. It helps when you say please to Discord.
Do you have a specialty?
No. Thank heavens I don't, because that would be insane.
Um,
I will take a specialty, Nausicaa. I promise
yeah,
you.
specialty possession, empathy, and Nausicaa. That's a big. Yeah, she's jealous. She kind of in the way that like a child might be when like a new kid gets born, or like a friend who worries that her friend's gonna stop, like
Mhm.
she's stopped gonna be a priority. But yeah, definitely.
Ava will kind of suppress a smile as she sees Nausicaa turning red. Look, I really don't think much is gonna change for now. We'll just meet, maybe in the weekend, but I will still be here. I'm not gonna leave. And we'll still run a business together and practice magic together. And you will still get to scold me over all the silly things I do. That won't change. I won't change.
Nausicaa's just kind of looking at her feet. Promise.
I
I don't want things
promise.
to change.
Look, Nausicaa. She's kind of waiting for Nausicaa to look up.
She does.
If you ever feel that I change, just tell me. Okay? And I will listen to you. I promise you that. You're the best friend I have.
Nausicaa again, like, yeah, just kind of like looks away and like shuffles her feet and is clearly just insanely awkward about it. Thank you. I need to go now. I'm busy. And
Busy with what?
I need to apply some new things. Maybe you would care to come to the temple. Reality is more malleable there.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Nausicaa just kind of like turns very like professionally around and just begins to walk and then stops. And Yeah, she'll turn around and she'll just kind of like run and hug Ava very quickly. I hope he's nice to you and makes you happy. And then she'll turn around and yeah, and just walk off like it didn't happen.
Alpha will look a bit shocked for a moment. Then kind of, again, not even suppressing the smile, but at least not laughing out openly. That she'll follow Nausicaa.
And yeah, Nausicaa will go to the temple. And she will pull out the wand you gave her. You can see that she's kind of wrapped it, or like kind of wound around it, some wire. It's the same wire she basically used on her, like all the rest of her stuff, and you know from experience that it's platinum.
Yeah, Alva kind of had her wand with her as well, so she'll also hold it up.
I have found this to be a useful tool in directing and focusing. Many of the Hermetic books speak of using a wand as a focus for one's will.
Right. Like an extension.
Yes.
Magical extension, in effect, in a way.
Yes.
It does remind me a bit of a pen. Except I don't really write on paper with it. Maybe you can write with it in reality.
There's a kind of like, yeah, like Nausicaa's version of a smile, which is like, yeah, like just kind of mostly in her eyes. Maybe we can. And Nausicaa is going to. Yeah. Basically, literally, like in the air, she'll write, and it's almost like when you have like a sparkler and there's like an afterglow. Saskia.
Mm.
So yeah, when there's like a sparkler and there's like an afterglow, and she's basically does that and like literally just writes out a load of yeah, basically mathsy stuff. And first roll is a fail. The second roll is a success. So yeah, once she does that, she will essentially like point it towards a like a small rock. And yeah, with the wand, just gesture it upwards, and the rock will just shoot up into the air.
Wow. That's cool.
It's a simple process. Reversing gravity in a localized area. It can also lead to, as the rock falls back down to Earth. It can also be used to increase momentum, electromagnetism, and gravitational forces.
That's pretty neat. Let me actually try something as well. As she closes her eyes for a moment, and then seems to concentrate. Then also makes a gesture, but it seems to be like a word. Although, I guess to Nausicaa it would just simply be meaningless waving in the air, as Alva is drawing the Hanokian word for air.
Ah, nice.
I don't know if that would mean that I could use Hanokian as a instrument to lower the difficulty.
I think so. Yeah, if you can like take, I mean, we're not doing this like in turns, as it were. So yeah, yeah, like being better at Enochian means you're better at commanding, I guess.
Yeah.
That's how I use my stuff. So yeah, I think so.
So I'll roll that first. Yeah, one success. And yeah, that same rock that she points to shoots up in the air again.
Like straight up, or like
Nah, probably just flies off, as in, a gust of wind just picks it up and throws it away. There's probably also kind of wind blowing past Alva and Nausicaa at that point. Just a huge gust of wind.
wow. You know the Hermetics sit on the seat of forces on the Council of Nine.
Uh-huh.
It is appropriate that we become proficient in this skill.
I think I already kind of figured out how to do it. I just needed to find the right words. But being in House Shea, they have so much knowledge there. It's overwhelming.
I've been researching various effects I would like to do. One of them I believe I'm capable of is overloading the electromagnetic energy within a system, essentially similar to an EMP device, causing electric systems to break. This seemed like an effective power against our technocratic opponents, as they seem to rely on technology so much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. But don't you think they might have defenses for that?
They may. They may have defenses for everything we do.
True. It just means that we have to be powerful enough to break them.
Exactly. Also, you know the effect that was on me before. The gravitational lapses.
Yeah.
I used that experience to formulate certain things, and I believe that I could effectively control gravity within an area. Before,
Okay.
you were talking about how you did not wish for us to become murderers.
Yeah, yeah. Keep
I
repeating.
believe slamming a room of technocrats onto the ceiling and pinning them there would be a suitably humane way of dealing with perhaps unawakened guards.
Yeah.
Also,
If I
increasing the gravitational push in order to pin people to the ground. It will cause the blood to drain from their upper extremities, rendering them unconscious.
definitely be useful, yeah. And not per se lethal. I was thinking if I can use this like perfectionize. What's that? That's not a word. If I could make this air do more what I want, if I learn to control it a little better, then I might be able to do similar things, or you know, just take the air out of their lungs until they, well, not choke to death, but before that.
I believe there are many offensive capabilities. Then Nausicaa's going to turn around and, yeah, I guess there's still like the kind of like easels and targets and stuff that we had before.
Hmm.
And she is actually going to kind of like, yeah, bring her wand up and basically bring it down and like begin basically like shout, like begin kind of like saying some words, and you can hear them, the kind of words she's used before. It's basically, yeah, like mathematical formulas, but she's done in a kind of like a very precise and kind of like canty way with
Hmm.
like there's almost like a kind of rhythm or like a like the syllables are kind of like blended together, and then she will accumulate this with kind of a shouting and basically just, yeah, point, like almost like snap her wand in that direction, and yeah, with a success. You can even like from where you are essentially kind of like feel just like this kind of blast of like just energy, and yeah, basically the easels just get like kind of like knocked over and things kind of like fall off. It's almost like there was like a big wind blast. It's actually kind of a gravitational push.
Nice.
She looks pleased with herself.
I've not really given this much thought, as usual.
We should train together then.
Mm-hmm.
I must admit, although I appreciate the indulgence of it, there is something pleasurable in showing others what you have learned and expressing your powers.
Most things that I learned are not that showable.
Still, you should. One of the old fund managers, he was recently indicted for insider trading. However, he famously once said to a rival, "What's the point of having fuck you money if you never say fuck you?" And this is the first time you've ever heard Nozick use a swear word, even though it was in a quote.
I I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable with that.
We should not reject the power that we've been given and that we've earned.
I mean, sure, but like I said, I think mine's more subtle. I also feel that I should maybe show myself a little more. I mean, you're not wrong in that, but
You have been learning Ars Mentis, no? The sphere of mind.
yeah.
Maybe you should.
How?
I do not know. I'm not
Exactly.
proficient
Because
in it myself.
especially the mind sphere, I found out that a lot of it has to do with subtlety.
This is good.
Like I can like in the museum, I can write a story and make someone well kind of follow the lines of that story. But it has more to do with suggestions,
Interesting.
feeding someone's inner desires.
Mental manipulation.
Hmm.
Psychic powers, as it were.
Hmm. I mean, I know I can also talk to you from over a distance, basically.
Really? That seems very useful.
It is. The thing is, so far, it's been more like a nudge. Like it could, when after I got back here from that other place, um, you know, and we missed Boris, I kind of sent him a nudge, and I know that he must have felt it. I'm not quite sure if he picked up on it, but I guess I can find a way to develop that.
Hmm. I remember reading in one of the old books of a wizard well versed in Ars Menta. He was able to summon mental illusions,
Yeah,
read people's thoughts, penetrate their subconscious.
I've been able to share vision with what was his Caleb. The thing is, it's kind of easy to defend against it because I'm treading onto different grounds, like um, with the drawing. And I will try again, especially after the conversation we just had. I have the capability of going back in time to the moment someone shaped something. Basically, get into their mind at that point.
Fascinating. This would seem extraordinarily useful in our war against the technocracy. If I were able to get you access to the right person under the right circumstances, you could reveal all their secrets.
Yeah, but it does depend on how strong their will is. Like normal humans, I guess I could do, or people are willing to show me their minds. But those who are not, it's incredibly different or difficult, especially from a distance. It's kind of the same as with the hypnosis. If someone's not open to it, I literally have to break in.
That's good considered. Still, it may be worth a shot.
I guess I could try and find places where people's minds are more weak.
This
Like,
employee that I have been using as my mole,
yeah,
she is not awakened. I'm sure of this.
or possibly she could be protected, but I can. I mean, we've talked about this before. I think I can give it a try.
I'm not sure if her mind is protected, but her home and her personal items are not.
Okay.
Maybe we could try.
I guess I can give it a try, yeah.
And then we wouldn't need that Violet's help. Not that we need it anyway, and also quickly corrects herself.
I'm not the answer to your prayers, Nausicaa. But I'll give it some thought. If you could send me all the info you have on her, specifically on her person. Like her address, her date of birth, her uh, favorite clothing, favorite book, something like that.
I could bring you the book she reads. I've seen it on her nightstand.
If you could just give me a copy of it, not the actual book itself, because once it's missing, she can't read from it. But I might have an idea. It might be a way in.
Excellent.
If I could alter the copy.
We could replace it with one we have rewritten.
Exactly. And when she reads it,
You'll be able to influence her.
Mm-hmm.
Nausicaa looks like, I don't know how to put it. She looks almost like she's hearing about like fairies or something. Like, you think you could really do that?
I think I could. If you could replace the copy she has and give me the one that she actually has, so I can alter it, or even just slip in a note, but probably altering the book itself would be best. And then I will need to make 2 of those books though. And then place that one, the one that she owned, back on her nightstand. And then when she reads the altered text, I guess I could find a way in. Yeah. Yeah, I think I could do that.
Fascinating.
It's all about words, how you use them. It's how you put it. I can say certain things, you know? Like we're talking now, I can say something to upset you or to make you happy. That way, I'm basically already influencing your mind with words. Not even using magic, right? You see what I'm trying to say?
I suppose.
Like I could start yelling at you, say mean things about you, and you will get upset. Or I could give you a compliment and you would like it. It's basically how you influence a person by the way that you speak, or even the tone in which you speak. Now, of course, you would need to understand it, but still, I will influence you. Now imagine that, but then from a distance. And with magic. Like words always influence someone, and through those words, the way you put them, you can influence someone. The problem is getting people to read it. Now with the museum, we were kind of lucky. Because if those guards had not read my story, or if they had decided they didn't want to read at all, then it would have been done. Like I couldn't have done anything. But if like you get me her favorite book right now and I can alter it, we know she will read it.
And we will. This is good. It is good we're moving forward, making progress.
Mm-hmm. Are you sure you can get me the book?
I'm quite sure. I've seen it before. I've been in her bedroom.
Make sure that for now you will replace it just with a simple copy. The same book.
I will
So
make
that
sure.
you won't notice, like if all of a sudden the book goes missing, that might be a bit weird. I mean, she might just think she displaced it, but still.
I can do this.
Cool.
I'm going to go to Louis Pizza. They're
Okay.
having a special deal. And although I obviously eat for free, I still like to.
Get a special deal.
Yeah.
Oh, Nausicaa.
What?
Nothing. Nothing. You're quite remarkable.
Oh, because it just kind of squints. That is a vague comment. I'm not sure what you mean by it. However, I'm going to take it as a compliment.
It's meant as such.
Thank you. You also are.
Thank you.
Nathaniel should know that if he hurts you in any way, then he will become my enemy. You should tell him this.
I think he already knows.
Good. Well, I'll go.
Okay.
Say hi to him for me.
I'll do so.
And yeah, Nausicaa will wander off.
Ava will actually walk over to the statues. Sits down there and just kind of stares into that mist, thinking about stuff. And I guess we can end the scene there. Thank you, Play, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This was another scene of Living World of Darkness, Mage from the Ashes.